the dial. 98.3 FM. Don't touch the dial.
All right, thank you very much for standing by and welcome back. It is still Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. And right now, the time check is 8:41 a.m. It's time for us to go into the Mainland Focus segment. And this is the part where we get to pick one or two trending stories and, to get your thoughts and opinions via the phone line, text messages, WhatsApp, and all. My name is Omobola Sandra. I still have Fuhad Saheed with me via the phone line, and we have two focal points this morning. It's going to be an interesting run. We're going to be putting two stories side by side, looking at what exactly the effect will be. Now, we have on the front page of the Punch newspaper, there's a story that says subsidy removal, spending on petrol may jump 250% to 8 trillion naira. So it means that petrol consumers may pay about 8 trillion naira for petrol between July and December 2023 once the federal government stops subsidy on PMS in June. And this is according to latest findings and industry data. And also, we have another story that we also got, same from, the Guardian newspaper, that said that the inauguration of Dangote Refinery has been slated for May 22nd, all right, this month. So we have by May 22nd, the Dangote Refinery will be commissioned. All right, so now we're looking at the fact that, okay, so we're going to be spending about 8 trillion on subsidy in 6 months. That's from July to December. And then we have Dangote Refinery for commissioning. Would the Dangote Refinery help with resolving the subsidy crisis? All right, let's not forget that according to that particular report, there's a lot of hope. There's a lot of, there's a lot of expectation that's coming from the Dangote Refinery commissioning. I mean, the spokesman, a special assistant to the president on digital communications, Bashir Ahmed, said that this, we're looking at the fact that this could make Nigeria self-sufficient and in terms of local refining of crude oil and save the scarce foreign exchange that is used in importation of petroleum products. Looking at the fact that the Dangote Refinery, which is expected to produce about 650,000 barrels per day, would in one way or the other, resolve our major issues. Now we're looking at it from this view that, do you think the Dangote Refinery will help in resolving the subsidy crisis, especially where Nigeria is looking forward to the end of subsidy regime by June, and the fact that we may be spending about 8 trillion naira for subsidy between July and December? And what should the government do going forward with its own refineries? Fuad says something earlier that if one man in person of Aliko, Africa's biggest oil refinery and the world's biggest single train facility, if one man can come and do that, isn't it possible for the federal government of Nigeria to do something as regards the 4 unproductive refineries that we have? So what do you think the government should do going forward with its own refineries? What does the Dangote Refinery also say about our own inability to fix the nation's refineries? Some months ago, we talked about the fact that, the federal government has a stake in the Dangote Refinery, about 20% stake in the Dangote Refinery. And we have 4 refineries. We have the Warri Refinery, the Port Harcourt Refinery, the Kaduna Refineries. We have 4 refineries, and they're all, not working. Let me put it that way. All right. So what exactly do you think the fact that Dangote is about to inaugurate his own private owned refinery, what does it say about Nigeria's inability to fix our own refineries? What are your thoughts, generally speaking? That's as regards the Dangote Refinery Commission that's expected to hold on May 22nd. That's the first focal point. The second one, of course, is as regards APC and the politics that the National Working Committee seems to be playing as regards the leadership of the 10th National Assembly. How do you think the APC should handle the matter? What do you think the APC should do? Because as it is now, there are some protests against, the endorsement of Godswill Akpabio becoming the Senate president. Godswill Akpabio is from the South, and there's also, indications that Jibrin Barao would be running as his deputy at the president. Yes, the Senate president now, as is at the Senate. Apologies. Okay, so there are protests that, oh no, it should go to the southeast, and then there's the northwest also saying something that, oh no, what about us? So you have that conversation, going on, and there's some people that are already saying, oh no, we don't agree with the endorsement of Godswill Akpabio. So how do you think the APC should handle the matter so it doesn't escalate into escalate into a repeat of what happened in 2015 with the Saraki Ekweremadu situation? Are we likely to see a repeat of it or not? Do you think the opposition parties would likely to take advantage of what is happening in the APC and use it to their own advantage and determine who becomes what in the 10th National Assembly? So those are the two focal points. I hope I was able to break it down as simple as possible. All right, so those are the two focal points that we have this morning on Mainland Focus. The first one is Dangote Refinery will be commissioned by May 22nd. What are the high hopes that you have as regards that, and what impact will it have on our own crude refining? And also, what are your thoughts as regards why has it been difficult? I mean, what does the Dangote Refinery also say about our own inability to fix our nation's refineries? That's the first one. The second one as regards the APC and the politics of the 10th National Assembly. Before we open up the phone line, I would like to get the thoughts of Fuhad on the two focal points, and then open up the phone line, and then you share your own thoughts as regards the conversation. Fuhad, Dangote Refinery and 8 trillion naira on subsidy between July and December. Are you cautiously optimistic, as you always say? Are you cautiously optimistic, or do you see this as some sort of ineptitude on the part of our leaders as regards why we've not been able to do something about our own refineries in the past years?
Okay, my opinion on that issue will be a report from the Nation newspaper, February 4, 2019. And it comes with the headline, Dangote Refinery will not sell petrol at regulated price. That's the headline. With the report, just 3 paragraphs on the report. As the president of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, has said premium motor spirit VMS or petrol that will be refined from Dangote's refinery will not be sold at federal government's regulated price. This ends the speculation about how much the pump price of petrol from the first private refinery was when it begins operations next year. Again, this is a 2019 report. Dangote spoke at the sidelines of the visit of the CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, to the refinery in Lagos. So, he's not going to be selling at a regulated price. He's a businessman. And there have been several reports that the Dangote refinery is situated at the free trade zone. So he's not even obliged to sell to the local market. All we can probably concentrate on is the meager 20% that we're going to get from him, which is not enough to take care of our local needs, our local PMS needs. Again, Sandra, I celebrate Alhaji Aliko Dangote, fantastic businessman, a great Nigerian who is doing well for himself and his family and his businesses, and in all Nigerians who are also working under the Dangote Group. But I say that we celebrate these achievements. There's a need for us as a nation to reflect on what we have done to this nation, especially on the part of leadership. Because for people who are going to come up with an assumption that government has no business in business, I tell them to go and read the story of Aramco, which is run 100%, almost 100% by the government of Saudi Arabia. And it is currently regarded as the most viable business entity in the world. Those are not ghosts and spirits, they are also human beings. But what has happened to Saudi Arabia is that you have leaders who are dedicated to their people, who are deliberate and intentional about fixing the people's problem and raising the living standards of their people. That is what is missing here in Nigeria.
Right. Okay.
Until we have leaders like that, nothing is going to change. Nothing.
Okay.
Practically nothing is going to change. On the second issue, honestly, it's a political matter. I leave the politicians to sort out their matter. But the APC has to be cautious, else the opposition will show them pepper.
Thank you very much, Fuhad. Just as Fuhad has highlighted, yes, it is the Dangote refinery is located at the Lekki Free Trade Zone near Lagos here. So I mean, that means that he can as well do business as as if he's on international land. Now, let's look at this two focal points. Let's get your thoughts as regards to it. The phone line is open now. 0913 6000 410. 0913 6000 410. That's the number to call. For text messages and WhatsApp messages is 0913 6000 430. 0913 6000 430. That's for text messages and WhatsApp messages. All right. For those of us who will be calling in, please, you have just 2 minutes. Stick within the 2 minutes. Once it's 2 minutes, we give you some signals and then we move on to the next caller. Would appreciate if we can all do that. And let's keep things clean. All right. Two focal points. Dangote refinery to be commissioned May 22nd. What are your hopes? What are your expectations? And as against the fact that the incoming administration has promised to take off subsidy by June. And also we're looking at the APC and the 10th National Assembly. Do you see a resolve, or do you think the opposition parties will take advantage of what seems to be a division in the APC, and we may be having a repeat of 2015? All right, let's get on with it. Straight to the point. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Sandra and my friend Fuhad, how are you?
Well, thank you.
All right, sir. Yeah. God bless all of you. This is Barrister Peter Uku, and I'm calling from Mainland. Thank you. On the two issues we are focusing on this morning, my take on the issue of Dangote refinery, which is going to be commissioned towards the end of this month. The fact is that we, as a people, we are not serious, including myself, because we will leave substance and start chasing shadows. It is embarrassing enough for a country like Nigeria, a well-known oil-producing nation in the world, to be comparing itself with Dangote refinery, one-man business. So my take is that we have nothing to do with Dangote refinery. Although they say NNPC has 20% there, I don't know the wisdom of NNPC going to invest in a private refinery when its own refineries are all down. I think that is hypocrisy, and I think every Nigerian should condemn it. I'm also the issue of selling the fuel to Nigerians. I think Dangote refinery has no obligation to sell the fuel at government rate, at NNPC subsidiary rate. It's a private company. If they like, they buy their crude from another country and bring here to refine and sell at whatever price they want. So they have no obligation, and we shouldn't rely on them. All we should do is, as much as possible, we try to repair our four broken down refineries.
Thank you.
Which are very old. So what the only alternative, I think, the
Thank
best
you,
alternative is to license modular.
All right, thank you very much, Barrister Oko. We get your point, appreciate, but let's stick within the 2 minutes that's allotted to each caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Pastor
Yes,
Ambrose.
we thank God for another day. Good morning, Fuhad. How are you?
Good morning, Pastor Ambrose. Good morning.
Yes, I listened to your program yesterday. I was opportune to listen to your program yesterday, and I was hearing so many people who are non-Easterners making a case for the Easterners. Fuhad, you remember Monica Takonde?
Pastor Ambrose,
Yes.
you know, I would appreciate if we can stay focused, though.
We are talking of political appointments now. I'm on track.
It's okay.
We are talking of the political, Senate presidency and all of that.
It's okay. Go on. It's okay. Go on.
So you remembered Monica Takonde, and you also remembered Patricia Ete, and you remember during Jonathan's time the Yorubas, the first 7 political offices, there was no Yoruba. So why are they making case for the Southeasterners? They should leave them. A lot of people called and they say they don't want. So for me, talking about the Senate president, the person that they are even rooting for as we speak now is not competent. He has a jail term and that was withered, and then he's there, and then he wants to go and represent the entire Southeast. I don't think so. Secondly, we have been talking of competence. We say we should leave religion, we should leave electricity. So let them follow competence. Let them follow competence, not south or southeast. They should follow competence. In fact, I prefer to go to the north. Then on the issue of this Dangote, I marvel when people begin to tell me that Nigerian government cannot run refineries. How have we got into the level where we now carry our common patrimony and put into the hands of people who cannot run government? Just like your Fuhad said, Aramco in Saudi Arabia is owned by government. Government can do it. It's just they want to continue to subsidize corruption.
All right.
And let me tell you, there is nothing anybody can do. The fuel will continue to go up until our economy stabilizes. If they say fuel is 800 today,
thank you,
and the naira is devalued, the fuel will go to 900.
Thank you.
So those people who are saying they support fuel subsidy and all of this, I think that they are just being.
Thank you very much. Okay, so please let's try to stick within the 2 minutes that's allotted. Thank you very much, Pastor Ambrose. And he was able to give his thoughts on the 2 focal points that we have this morning. I thought, he was referring to the callers' opinions yesterday. That was
okay.
That was yes. I thought that was where he was going until he of course redirected. Thank you very much, though. All right, let's carry on now. Please, let's stick within the 2 minutes so we can take as many thoughts and opinions as possible. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Sandra.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Alaji. Thank you. Yes. Let me go straight to the issue. The issue of subsidy. I'm advising the incoming government to handle it very, very carefully. Carefully in the sense of what? Now Nigeria is suffering from inflation. And if subsidy is removed, is another, it's another calamity. So my own advice is this. Now, Dangote refinery is in Lagos here. It's in Nigeria and it's in Nigeria man. Federal government has some percentage in the construction of the refinery. Let them have a kind of agreement with Dangote. Within the period of 6 months, whatever the production, according to information, the refinery is the largest. So it can sustain the supply of Nigeria. So within that 6 months, whatever the production, it should be concentrated in Nigeria. Let the incoming government have an agreement with him to relieve Nigeria. Already we are suffering from inflation. So it's not just an agreement. And within that 6 months, they should go straight to our refinery. The remaining refinery, the 4 refinery, if they need P, they privatize it. So that within that 6 months, all our refinery will start working. And Dangote can start, exporting. So that is that on that. On the Senate president, the House of the members elect has the responsibility to select their people. And mine is what they are even saying now is that the number of they have the responsibility that 150 in
So that issue, Akpabio was telling me that he worked for APC, he delivered his own thing. So it's within them. If the outsider does not have now, it's only the party. I wish them well so that they can have a kind of good comment for we Nigeria. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alhaji Suber. Fuhad, I don't know if we're able to get majority of all of that because I struggled a bit.
I got what you were saying.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no, I really got all he said.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Let's keep moving now. This is Mainland 98.3 FM. Don't forget that we're live on Facebook and YouTube. So you can as well drop your comments there if you're unable to reach in via the phone line or via text message or WhatsApp. The number to call is 0913 6000 410. For text messages and WhatsApp is 0913 6000 430. Please, if you call in, let's stick within the 2 minutes that's allotted so we can take as many calls as thoughts and opinions as possible. Would appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, Sandra.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Fuhad. Good morning, Mr. John. Yeah. Good morning, sir. Yeah. Good morning, sir. Whether you like have 100% optimism or you have a conscious or not conscious, what is not tenable is not tenable. It's not acceptable. Let them build our refinery for us. Yeah, that's it, Minister Fawaz. Honestly, where is it? I will call it a kind of a mundane mandamus approach. It is intentional. They are not mundaneous because that will be dwelling on the realm of probability. They are doing this intentional. The president of look at Aramco here, look at Venezuela, all the OPEC countries maintaining their refineries, exporting and making good money from it. And only one man will have refineries. One have for the 200 million people. I think we back by road. Don't feel that way. I think we are doing like that. Let us do that refineries and refineries. Good morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's okay. Thank you. I will appreciate. Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes. Good morning.
Sandra. Good morning this morning. Therefore, good morning. This is John the Great from Akuwonjo.
All right. Please go ahead.
On our topic for today, the refinery, we can't depend on one person. Our country is too big for one person to monopolize the market. Just as Fuhad has said, governments in other countries are making their own thing possible and it's working. So, it is deliberate. If government wants the refinery to work, it will work. But because they lack this will, you can't tell me that government does not have anything to do with business. Why are they in government? Government is not business. It's business. So they should sit up if they want the refinery to work. Not one man giving us the market or manipulating the market for over 200 million people. No. The government needs to sit up if they want it to work, and it will work. For the Senate President, it's a hollow chamber of its own. Just as I said yesterday, we should look for competence. We should look for capacity. A person who has a good spread, who can deliver. Sandra, there is a whole lot of things that our country is really dying and in need for. There is need for that Senate President to be, giving Nigerians what they want. So if they are looking at capacity, they are looking at competence, then ethnicity and what they call it, religion, should be taken out of it. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much. We appreciate. All right, let's take some messages at this point now. Thank you for staying tuned. This is Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos, and you're on to Mainland Focus. And we have two focal points for this morning. We are having a conversation around the fact that Dangote Refinery is ready for commissioning by May 22nd this year. So by the 22nd of this month, Dangote Refinery will be commissioned, inaugurated by the President, Muhammadu Buhari. And looking at it against the fact that 8 trillion naira on subsidy between July and December this year, and the fact that the incoming administration has promised that they're going to take off subsidy by June, and that is that. So looking at that and looking at it against Dangote Refinery being inaugurated May 22nd, do you think that Dangote Refinery will help to resolve our subsidy crisis? And what do you think the government should do going forward with our own refineries? We have 4 redundant refineries as it is. And what does the Dangote Refinery also say about our inability to fix our own refineries? That's the first point. The second is as regards the APC and the politics of the 10th National Assembly. How should the APC handle the matter? There are protests in different, let's say factions or different quarters within the APC that feel that the endorsement of Godswill Akpabio it doesn't sit well with them. All right. So how do you think the APC should handle the matter? Are we likely to see a repeat of what happened in 2015, especially with Vanguard's major headline that says that the opposition parties are going to exploit the confusion within the APC to their own advantage? What are your thoughts? 0913 6000 410. Please, you have just 2 minutes and straight to the point. Thank you. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, Sandra. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Fuhad. You have Chief Akpagwadi. I'm calling from Sango.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The issue is down. We are talking about this petroleum issue, refinery and refinery. The first thing I want to correct for the public is that Dangote refinery is not a one-man refinery. It is now. It was promoted by one man, group of companies, and the Dangote group. At the time, Dangote is no longer founded. He invited foreign investors. Global traders, they have investors. They are all marketers. They came and invested in it. Global state government invested in it. NICC invested in it. And as it is now, if you look at the share structure, Dangote will be in an LCCR order. And that will be having an LCCR in fact in January. So that is just the nature. And if you go to Aramco we are talking about, go to the first these refinery companies, they were consortium that set them up, promoted by the government of this country, not by Saudi Arabia. It's not exclusively by Saudi Arabia. That is the correction I want us to know. These things are consortium, and if you are not a member of the Global Oil State Group, like I have been saying in this program, they will frustrate you as a government from having any project. When you go to the Angola you are saying about, that's who they are refinery. They are consortium, they are never run by government. And then you have to run down Nigeria government refinery. And when Buhari saw that this thing will continuously go at time, then we will partner with Dangote refinery and make it a reality. And then come to the issue of this National Assembly opposition. I think we should just come to do what they like. The religion and ethnic has destroyed all of them. As I said, the Eastern senators elect, they had their meeting that they are supporting their own. Regardless of party, the other people they belong. The group they say they have together, all the parties there. And somebody is talking that the opposition, there are many will be able to obtain the can never because of ethnic and religion. So that is just the explanation I want to do.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Sandra. I wanted to just tell Chief Akpagwadi he's not saying anything new that we have not said. Whether it's a consortium or not, the fact is that the Dangote refinery is privately owned and spearheaded by Dangote himself. Whether it's a consortium or not, what we have as a country is what NMPC has bought 20%, and that's all. And that's not even explained to us why we can't fix our 4 refineries. And I say again, Aramco is run by the Saudi government. The refineries are owned by the Saudi government. It's just the fact are the fact. It's embarrassing that as a country we can't fix our refineries. We can continue to speak all of the grammar and come up with all manner of semantics. In reality, as a country, we have failed to manage our own resources properly, and it's fraught with corruption. It's as simple as that. It's not about the semantics. It's about the reality of the fact that the government has failed in that regard, and we must admit it.
Thank you very much, Fuhad. Well, that is the beauty of this conversation that we're having now. Let's try to get to the crux of the matter. What exactly do you think this Dangote refinery inauguration says about the inability of our own leaders to properly manage our own refineries? All right, let's carry the conversation on 0913 6000 410. Hello, good morning.
Sandra, good morning.
Good morning, Don Peters.
Good morning, Fuhad.
Good morning.
Sandra, I love the question you asked us. You said, what is our expectation on Dangote refinery? And I can tell you that I am expecting nothing. Why? Because Dangote is a businessman who is only busy doing his business. I want to ask you, is the price of cement down in the market? Is the sugar price down? Is noodles price down? Fertilizer, is it down? All these things are things being, produced by Dangote. Okay, him alone. And the price is still up. And we Nigerians, some of us are clapping for his refinery that is coming up, that he's going to solve our problem. I'm not seeing him solving any problem for us because he's a businessman who is only busy doing his business, as I said before. All what he has monopolized before now, know what the price of it is favorable to Nigerian people. So I am not expecting whatever his refinery is doing to be at a cheaper rate. We as a people, we should be, tackling our government for them to make our own refinery. Because you now coming to analyze to me that Dangote refinery is not owned by one man alone. But the name is Dangote. Is Nigerian name Dangote? We have our own refinery that is owned by NMPC, owned by Nigerian people. So the one you are trying to analyze to me right now that is not owned by only one man, I don't get it. It's owned by one man, Dangote Group.
All right.
It has a name tag on it.
Okay.
So we shouldn't be deceiving ourselves and be giving ourselves excuses why we shouldn't, do our own refinery.
All right.
We should be, putting the government on toes for them to do our own refinery. Let it create job for the people of Nigeria and let it be working. It's working in other places. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Don Peters. Appreciate. All right. Hello. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning to you, Lady Sandra.
Good morning, Prince Wise.
How are you?
Well, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Fuhad, a very good morning to you as well.
Good morning. Good morning. That is fine.
Thank you, my dear. You see, number one, if our refinery is here today, they should immediately hand the traffic body. It can be fixed project. Papa just show this off. It is terminated of the president that will fight back the government, which is very painful indeed. Now, if it Dangote as a person can be with refinery, what happened to other big men, other rich men? Dangote is building refinery for a lot of Nigerian government that will be employed. When talk of Sudan, Dangote Sudan, Dangote cement, I thank this man a lot. Other Nigeria, they not buy them from establishing the same company. So if they can't come up, and someone so patriotic enough, so establish all these things is for I say kudos to him. Because we are saying government should provide environment for private body to build industry. That is what you have done since long time ago by providing those land for these people to come in. Now, for me, corruption can't make our refinery to work. If I saw you come on board, because what is not afraid to do, afraid to do, what afraid to do, let him actually did it and make it work and give it to private body. Finally, the National Assembly once Igbo people did I have to vote for Usokanu. Usokanu is not property of Nigeria. If somebody say our region is not what Usokanu, no, say you. But Nigeria, if the Nigeria say they want Usokanu, yes, I want that the Senate president to go to the southeast or southwest. But nobody should say it's not go to Kanu. If Kanu makes himself to become Senate president, and Nigeria say they want it, not anybody can do. Right. Good morning to you, my fellow in the studio.
Good morning to you too. Thank you very much, Prince Wise. Fuhad, I still find it interesting, this conversation as regards we don't want him, we want him conversation. I mean, he's to be the Senate president of the National Assembly, of the country. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think we lost that one. All right, do you think, the position of a particular region, where the aspirant is from should be a determining factor to the aspirations of the aspirant?
But again, we have to be careful to think that if people of a particular region becomes what, maybe become Senate president or even become president, automatically will reflect on the living standard of the people. From experience, I'm sure people will tell you that, look, for example, in the Southwest, there are people that will tell you, okay, when Obasanjo was president for 8 years, what did the Southwest get practically? We are still struggling to fix the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, and he was president for 8 years. Go to Ogun State, where most of his businesses are domiciled, where he even lives. What is the quality of road, the nature of road in Ota, to Abeokuta, and all of that, where he lives? So sometimes you see people saying that, the fact that somebody is from our region does not automatically mean he becomes president or Senate president or vice president, things will change for good. I just think it's about the interest of the people, really, and who they want, and they have a right to that.
All right, let's take some messages now. We'll be back to phone calls in a bit. I have a message here. There's no name, there's no location, so I won't be able to read it, as we need to ascribe all messages to an individual. I also have here Abraham Adigun from Oshogbo in Osun State. Let's forget about Dangote refinery for a second. My major concern is what is stopping federal government from building or repairing our own refineries. The biggest mistake we'll make as Nigeria is to see Dangote refinery as a lifesaver. And what has government done to the high price of cement? Good morning. All right, thank you very much, Abraham. We also have here, hi Mainland FM, my name is Mr. Nwachuku Chima from Oshodi. I have been listening to your station and I find out that whenever somebody wants to tell you the truth, the best you can do is cut him or her off. Please allow callers to finish their statements. Then if it's not true, you correct them. It is better to speak than die with the problem. Mr. Nwachuku Chima, thank you very much for your observation. However, we have a 2-minute time frame for each caller. And once you exceed the 2 minutes, we start giving you signals. And after a few seconds, after 2 minutes, then we have to cut you off in order to allow other callers to share their thoughts and opinions. We don't deliberately cut people off, all right? And even if someone says something wrong, we try to, encourage them to correct what it is that they think is the right or the facts, all right? So we don't deliberately cut people off. Please let us all stick within the 2 minutes that's allotted to each caller so everybody can have free fairness and equity in sharing their thoughts and opinion as regards the focus.
I've become a politician.
All right, so let's keep moving now. We also have here, good morning. Okay, so the indictment of and sentencing of Ekwerimad. Okay, sorry, that's not the focus for this morning. All right, we have here, good morning, Mainland FM. I'm highly disappointed in incoming administration. But they've not even started.
Incoming?
They've not even started work.
or they are going. Okay.
Oh, apologies. I read it wrong. He said, I will be highly disappointed in the incoming administration if at least 2 of our refineries is not fixed. That's what he said. So he's giving them an ultimatum that at least 2 should be fixed in this incoming administration. That's what he's saying. On the 10th Senate presidency, let the Hollow Chamber produce its own competent leaders to steer the affairs of the country along with the executive. And that's Comrade Oyeni from Iju in Lagos. I also have here, good morning, Sandra and Fuhad. May God help Nigeria on this issue of refinery that we cannot repair or build in more than 20 years. And one man built his own personal refinery in 6 years. And there are people who will come out and preach semantics to us defending the refinery failure. Let our government that cannot do this refinery allow other rich men who are richer than Dangote, either by crook or good, to build refinery for this country and create an agreement of a sharing formula, and you will see if this country will not work. On the issue of speaker, let it go to any good person from the south for equity's sake. My opinion is let us pick the right person and not by he's my brother and therefore he's the right person. Let it be in the interest of the people. And that's Adewumi sharing his own thoughts as regards the two focal points this morning. Let's go back to phone calls. We'll be back to text messages in a bit. Don't forget that we are live on Facebook and YouTube. You can as well drop your comments there. Thank you very much at Mainland 98.3 FM. Hello.
Morning to you.
Good morning.
Sorry about the back.
Yes.
Engineer Nuri from Yaba.
Okay, please go ahead.
One, concerning the refinery,
Okay.
we want to congratulate Dangote in advance. But like one of the writers said, if there is no competition, we are going to have a monopoly in the production of oil products in the Nigeria market or even our neighboring countries' market. It's going to be a disaster. We must repair our refinery and build another one. There must be political will towards that. Not only to say I want to remove subsidy. Let there be production. It will also increase our GDP and give us good economic background. If they don't do that, it's a failure on its own. It's a failure. That is a challenge to the incoming government, and it's a failure that the outgoing government is taking away. Now, concerning the National Assembly, these National Assembly members to stand their ground. They should not be stereotyped into accepting whatever the president-elect or their party says. In order to have a robust deliberation in the House, so no matter who owns all is gone, let the constitution be upheld and be made in continue to have that. Minority, they said that they are tailoring it towards the party issue. Let the minority opposition gather themselves. They form the majority and elect one of them. Both institutions at the end of the day, our economy will suffer for it. God bless Nigeria. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Please turn off the radio.
My name is Jude. I'm calling from Aja.
All right.
The Nigerian government is going to cannot transport oil from Lagos to Kano. We don't have any means to transport the oil. So when somebody from Kano goes to a refinery presently at today, buy oil, he goes with a truck. The money for the transportation is paid by the Nigerian government, which is something we are talking about. And they subsidize the oil for the person buying the company that is buying the oil from the refinery. Now, if Dangote provides oil, who will pay for the transportation of the truck to Kano or to Kaduna? It's not the same Nigerian government. So subsidy will not stop because there is no government in Nigeria that will transport oil from Lagos to Kano. You don't have any means to do that. So this thing, the subsidy that today will never stop until we will all die. Subsidy will continue to be in Nigerian government. Let us not be the labor, the incoming government to stop subsidy because well, it can cost 1,000 naira. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate sharing your thoughts this morning. Hello.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, Madam Sandra.
Okay. Good morning, Engineer Femi.
Thank you very much. Prof, what?
Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, engineer.
I'm very surprised, and I need to ask you a question, sir. Are we going to buy from here at the same price when we carry it outside to go and refine it?
Fuhad?
Answer me, sir.
Are we going to buy at the same price from Dangote as what we buy from, outside the country?
No. Of course, they are going to be, again, about logistics, really. Because if you look at what it comes...
Oga, I can see where you are going.
Yes, of course.
You cannot say that you want to share meat
that stew with all those stew and the little meat will enter your mouth when you want to cut the meat. Can't you take the crude oil down there out of 1,000 drum? Let me just use drum. Take 1,000 drum, take 800 for back to us, take 200. Can't you do it like that and make it cheaper for us here? See, they should run the country the way they want it. I know that one day like this, is tomorrow is coming. God will come and take over. It's one thing that will happen. So for 8 years, they cannot refine our refinery. They cannot do our refinery. Abi, see the price of cement. What about all those people that gave the nicest to for the refinery? Ask me now, or I'm asking you the question. What happened to them?
Okay.
How many companies they gave the nicest to? And how much they are, if you want to invest on refinery, how much is it? To have filling station, I think you still have 500 million. Just 500 million. So not talk of refinery. For 6 years, they cannot do this. It's a big slap. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Femi. We appreciate. Fuhad, so many questions.
Really, yeah.
Why the direction
Well, you see the issue is, again, the Dangote refinery is privately owned. So on the first instance, it's not even obliged to the local market. What we have control of is the 20% stake that the NNPC has bought. And from the report I read, it was a 2019 report when Godwin Emefiele paid a visit to that refinery. And Dangote said it himself. It was not as if it was he himself, Dangote, Aliko Dangote, said, look, I'm not going to be selling fuel here at the government regulated price. I'm not obliged to do that. And that's why I'm saying that forget the semantics. The reality is that it calls for sober reflection. Why is it that 24 years down the line, we have 4 refineries in Nigeria, despite the billions of naira we pumped into it, we have not been able to fix at least 1 or 2. And I'm not interested in the semantics of consortium or no consortium or the arrangement of how refineries are run. It is the fact that as an oil-producing nation, it is a shame that we don't have functional refineries of our own. Simple as ABC.
Well, let's wrap things up with a few messages. I have here, good morning, Sandra and Fuhad. On Dangote's refinery inauguration, it is an arrival of a new business deal. Why are we rejoicing? Our leaders are the shareholders of the company, and that's why they refuse to build our own refineries. Honestly,
allegations, huh?
Yes, it's Damnola from Malava, so that's why I'm not very surprised. Honestly, Dangote will soon compete for rank of richest man in the world. Rejoicing at the arrival of Dangote refinery is like dancing on someone else's grave. On Senate President, can we just stick to the principles of federalism and federal character? Let it play out. Who is competent among our leaders? Present National Assembly is a rubber stamp. Probably the next one will be plastic stamp. Thank you, Damlola from Alaba, which always has very interesting and colorful. Yes, we'll leave that at that. All right, unfortunately, we can't take any more messages, but Joseph from Ogba, thank you. I see your message. We also have another one here that is from Tunde Jesuloba from Surulere. Thank you very much. We also have Ademola Abidin, who sent a message via our Facebook saying, good morning, happy new week. This is Adele Oganla from Majidun Ogolonto. Thank you very much. We also have Toluwalashe Shulanke is saying, I am watching. All right, thank you very much to everyone who was a part of the show this morning. We appreciate. Unfortunately, that's all we can take for today. Of course, the conversation continues by 4 p.m. with Okwemi Akinyode in the Situation Room. All right, and coming up next by 9:45 is where we treat the top big 3 stories trending on the international scene on Global View. This is Mainland 98.3 FM. My name remains Omobola Sandra. Thank you very much, Fuhad Saheed, for your analysis to the stories.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll meet by 9:45 for Global View.
All right.
Mainland 98.3 FM, your